The camera world just changed forever, and it's not because of a spec sheet. It's because the giants have finally stopped playing it safe. For 3 years, the Nikon Z9 has sat on the throne as the most versatile flagship ever made. But as we move through 2026, the whispers from the professional testing grounds have turned into a roar. Today on TechVibe, we are pulling back the curtain on the Nikon Z9 II. We're talking about a sensor that's 3 times faster than anything you've ever touched, a native ISO that defies the laws of physics, and the first ever DNA infusion from Red Digital Cinema that is about to make every other hybrid camera look like a toy. If you thought the original Z9 was a beast, you aren't ready for what comes next. Stop what you're doing. If you were planning on buying a Sony A1 II or the latest Canon flagship, you need to hear this first. We've synthesized the most credible leaks in industry data regarding the Nikon Z9 II, and Nikon isn't just upgrading a camera, they are merging 2 separate industries. With the full integration of RED technology, the Z9 II is no longer just a mirrorless body, it's a Hollywood-grade powerhouse hidden in a professional stills chassis. The original Z9 was a moment in history. It was the camera that killed the mechanical shutter and proved that Nikon was back to win. But in a world where the competition is pushing AI-driven neural network processing and global shutters, Nikon had to do something radical for the Mark II. Let's start with the heart of this monster, the sensor. Reliable reports are pointing to a refined 46-megapixel stacked CMOS sensor. Now, don't let the resolution number fool you. This isn't the same sensor from 2021. This is a next-generation architecture reported to be over 3 times faster than its predecessor. We are talking about a readout speed so fast it achieves performance nearly indistinguishable from a global shutter. Specifically, leaks suggest an X-sync speed of up to 1/720th of a second. For the high-end flash photographers in our audience, you know that is absolutely unheard of. It effectively eliminates rolling shutter distortion without the dynamic range penalties usually associated with current global shutter technology. But here is the real kicker for the landscape and studio pros: native ISO 32. By pushing the base ISO down to 32, the Z9 II is aiming for medium format-like image quality. We're expecting a dynamic range that exceeds 15 stops, giving you files that have more flexibility than anything else on the market. Imagine shooting in the harsh midday sun of the American Southwest or the Australian outback and still pulling perfect detail out of those highlights. This is the level of purity that high-end commercial clients demand, and Nikon is delivering it in a 35mm form factor. Now, let's talk about the RED acquisition. Ever since Nikon bought Red Digital Cinema, the industry has been waiting for the hybrid crossover. The Z9 II is where the marriage becomes official. This won't just be a camera with a simple firmware update, we are looking at internal 12-bit REDCODE RAW. But the real game changer is 8.3K open gate at 60 frames per second. For those of you in high-end production, open gate is the holy grail. It uses the full sensor area, allowing you to crop for vertical social content and horizontal cinematic delivery from the same file without losing quality. And it's not just the internals. The user interface is rumored to have a dedicated cinema mode that completely transforms the menus into a RED-style layout. This is Nikon telling the world that they are no longer just a photography company, they are a cinema company. To handle all that data, the Z9 II will be powered by the new EXPEED processor. This isn't just about speed, it's about intelligence. The AI subject tracking is getting a massive overhaul. We're moving beyond just eyes and faces. The Z9 II is expected to feature predictive pathing, where the camera uses deep learning to understand the physics of movement. If a professional athlete disappears behind a referee or another player, the camera doesn't hunt, it knows where that person should emerge and stays locked on. For the sports and wildlife shooters, the burst rates are moving into the realm of the absurd. We're hearing whispers of 60 frames per second raw continuous shooting at full resolution. And if you're willing to drop to a crop mode? Try 120 fr. Aims per second. You will literally never miss a moment again. The buffer is no longer a bottleneck. With dual CF Express Type B 4.0 slots, the buffer is essentially the size of your memory card. Nikon knows professionals don't want a radical redesign of the ergonomics they've spent years mastering. The vertical grip remains, but we are expecting a significantly brighter electronic viewfinder with a much wider color gamut. Thermal management is also getting a massive upgrade. Lessons learned from the modified Nikon units sent to the International Space Station are being applied here with a new passive cooling system that should allow for unlimited 8K recording, even in high-heat environments. Connectivity is another area where TechVibe expects Nikon to dominate. For our agency photographers and photojournalists in the US and Europe, speed of delivery is everything. The Z9 II is rumored to feature built-in 5G and Wi-Fi 7, along with full content credential support. In an era of AI-generated fakes, the Z9 II will cryptographically sign your images at the moment of capture, proving they are authentic and unedited. This is becoming a requirement for major news organizations, and Nikon is leading the charge in ethics and authenticity. So, when can you actually get your hands on it? While the initial development announcement was a closely guarded secret, the current timeline points to a full reveal in late 2026, with prototypes already being field-tested at major global sporting events. As for the price, quality like this doesn't come cheap. Expect a launch price in the neighborhood of $6,000. It's a premium price, but for a tool that replaces both a flagship stills camera and a high-end cinema rig, it's a calculated investment for the serious professional. The Nikon Z9 II isn't just an iteration, it's a statement. It's the convergence of legendary reliability and industry-leading color science. But the question remains, is this enough to stop the momentum of the other tech giants? When you look at the landscape of 2026, the demands on creators have never been higher. We are expected to produce 8K video, high-resolution stills, and instant social crops all at once. The Z9 II seems built specifically for this everything-everywhere era of content creation. It's a tool for the photographer who is also a cinematographer and a digital storyteller. By bringing the RED workflow into the Z-mount ecosystem, Nikon has essentially bypassed years of research and development, jumping straight to the front of the line in video quality. The color science alone is a massive draw. Being able to shoot in RED's IPP2 color pipeline directly on a Nikon body is something we couldn't have imagined 5 years ago. This camera is designed to be the backbone of professional agencies for the next half-decade. Whether you are shooting courtside at the NBA or documenting a remote expedition in the Himalayas, the Z9 II is built to survive and perform. The weather sealing is reported to be even more robust than the original, with new gaskets and a reinforced mount to handle the heaviest telephoto lenses. This is the level of over-engineering that has kept Nikon fans loyal for decades. It's not just about the specs, it's about the confidence that when you press that shutter button, the camera will respond instantly, every single time. As we look toward the official launch, the excitement in the community is palpable. We've seen a shift in the market where professionals are moving away from having 3 different cameras for 3 different jobs. They want one body that does it all without compromise. The Nikon Z9 II is the answer to that demand. It's the ultimate hybrid, the ultimate workstation, and perhaps the final word in the great mirrorless war of the 2020s. The flagship wars are officially back in full swing. Nikon has thrown down a massive gauntlet with the Z9 II, and the specs we've discussed today are only the tip of the iceberg. But I want to hear from you. Does the ISO 32 and the inclusion of REDCODE RAW make this an immediate purchase for your workflow, or are you waiting to see what the competition does next? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If this deep dive helped you navigate the future of your gear, make sure to like the video and subscribe to TechVibe for more authentic, high-end tech breakdowns. We'll be here keeping you ahead of the curve as more information drops. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.